Welcome to Rokk Around the Clock, daily cloud gaming news live at the same time, Monday to Friday. But first, if you're new to the show, please subscribe and hit the bell. If you'd like to support the channel, why not hit the join button on the channel homepage and become a member of Team Rokk. Just turn it on, you idiot. Okay, I've done it. Oh, God, blimey, governor. You'd think it was Thursday, wouldn't you? I've still got that squishy logo. I need to sort myself out. What's that all about, Rokk? What are you squishing your logos and stuff? How are you guys? Welcome to Rokk Around the Clock. It's on a Thursday. Sincere apologies. Dre went looking. He had to work really hard to find the video. It's my fault, mate. 2 days in a row, I've been setting it all up and it's all been fine and this is lovely. And it gets to 5 my time, then on the hour, and I think, oh, I haven't actually set it up on YouTube. There's no schedule. So I'm like feverishly creating the video. So if you've gone thinking, where is the old fella? He's an idiot. That's what he is. He's an idiot. I hope you're all well. I've got a very tiny little echo, but you may be okay. It might just be weirdness with me. But great to see you all. Thank you so much. Bob there saying, looking good. This is a test message. And he gave me 100 gold. I've no idea. But thanks, Bob. Coffee. A cup of joe. Hey, Bruce. How are you, my friend? How is it? Is it cold? Is it snowy? Are you surviving the winter harshness? I think actually last time I asked you, it was okay where you were, wasn't it? But for some reason, not so much for other folk. Phipps, how are you? I see it's a parakeet with what is that? A Benjamin rolled up into a hat. That's amazing. I'm loving the parrot with a dollar bill for a hat. That's amazing. Hey, Joe, how are you, dude? Good to see you as well. I caught the end of your show earlier. I can't remember now whether it was last night for me or it was this morning. I think it was this morning, wasn't it? Because I think I said to you it was like 4 a.m. or something stupid. Almost Friday, Joe. Almost Friday. Yeah, absolutely. And then we're into the final kind of countdown, aren't we? The final week leading up to the holidays. So a lot of people will be taking their break now. In the UK, from, I want to say tomorrow, I think kids, a lot of the schools are breaking up. But that tends to be different across the UK. Different regions have different kind of start and end times. If it's a private school, which for some bizarre reason we call public schools, but they're not, they're very private, they tend to have longer time. I don't know how it works, but it's all a bit different to everywhere else. Rockmouth! Hey, Rokk. Why do I always imagine you smoking a pipe and sitting in front of a fireplace? My dad used to smoke a pipe, funny enough, when I was a kid. And then he, I'm trying to think, he started with cigarettes. And then I can't remember if he went cigars and pipe or pipe and cigars. Either way, he gave them up many, many years ago. And my mum did as well, but she hit the vape. So I got her onto what we called e-cigarettes before the term vape became very popular. Because she used to smoke all the time. She would get through 2 or 3 packs a day. And I was considerably worried for her ongoing health. So I managed to get her onto those kind of what we now call vapes before they were particularly popular. And she smokes them all day instead now, which I'm hoping is better for her. But I think the jury's out on that one. I can't see. How are you, my friend? How'd you get on with that game? Have you played it yet? The one that you won. The one that you won. I hope you did. And I'm just going to turn the heater down here. It's getting quite warm. And I hope it was fun. No snow yet, says Bruce. But no snow yet, but like for the next couple of days. So it's predicted for the next couple of days, or no snow for the next couple of days. I think we've come through the worst current phase in England, Leicestershire. So different parts of the UK had quite horrendous amounts of snow. Depending on your opinion, my kids absolutely adore it. For me, I just see danger. Old man danger. Old man danger. Don't go out in the snow. You'll break your leg. And that'll be you. Old folks home. But we're going from the ridiculous to the sublime. So I think at the moment it's about -2, -3 centigrade. I think that's about 28, 26 Fahrenheit. And then next week it goes up to 16. So it's going up into the 50s or something ridiculous. So I don't know. I don't know what's going on with the world. Well, we've all got a fairly good clue, haven't we? Let's be honest. Phip says, I finally, I almost got rid of that nasty cold. Look at that on cue. You see? Psychosomatic. I was meant to have an appointment today with a chiropractor. Try and sort out a bit of an ongoing shoulder issue, but I thought I would I'd give him the opportunity to book it another day, because although I don't think I've got anything, I didn't really want to I didn't want him to feel, when you get in a car and you're coughing and you haven't got an illness or anything, but everyone in the car's like, oh no, I'm going to get COVID, and they can't pull out the masks and everything. I didn't want to make him feel awkward, so I decided to postpone my chiropractitioner for another day. Oh, look! Helix Cloud Games are in the house. Hey, Rokk! Hope you're feeling good and festive. Well, thank you, my friend. Yeah. The wife bought... there's a saga. There's such a saga. So if you remember yesterday, guys, I think I relayed the story yesterday. We bought these, we got these 2 trees when we only wanted to buy 1, and both of them were not what we'd hoped for. So the wife was not happy. She boxed them up and got on to UPS to come and pick them up. That's all good. But today she went and bought a brand new one, a real fir tree, a beautiful one, a Nordic one. From the local forest, and it's stunning. It is absolutely beautiful. It's 6 foot tall. It's as wide, bushy as it is tall. It's just beautiful. So when she's finished the decks, because she's better at it than me, I'll take a photo and pop it up on Twitter and wish you all of the happy festivities. I just saw David. There he is. How are you, my friend? Howdy, Cloudies. Oh, look, there's he's a shadow of his former self in that avatar. Where's the dog? It actually looks like Homer Simpson's head with your shadow. With your shadow kind of approaching Homer. Ooh, oh, brilliant. Oh, look at this. Bjorn woke up to -16. What? Down to -11. Oh, I couldn't be doing with that, mate. Flip me. I would put all my food out in the garden. Why would you want to waste electricity with a freezer when you've got those kinds of temperatures outside? Amazing stuff. Too cold for me, that's for sure. Demi, how are you? Good afternoon, gamers. Good afternoon to you too. I hope you're well. And I'm trying to think where you are. Is it east side? Or west side? West side, I forget. Hopefully it's not too cold. Phipps has got -10. It's going from -10 to +10. Yeah, see, you've got a similar kind of weirdness going on. Only your degrees of warminess is going up. You're going up 20, aren't you? Because you're going from -10 to +10. So that's 20. We're going from -2 to 16. So we're only, +14. So you win, my friend. Curly, danger and inconvenience. What with the old man's broken leg syndrome? I think it's a syndrome. Yeah, I often slip up because I'm just awkward. I'm kind of 6'2", and I've just always been awkward. I think when your centre of gravity there's more of you. So I've tripped over sort of pavements and stuff, and twisted ankles and things. I don't think I've ever broken a leg or an arm. Just trying to think. I had a broken nose from a fight once, which sounds worse. It sounds worse than it was. I actually stepped in to break up two guys from having a fight, The one guy that was getting pounded ran off, and the other guy took it out on me. Bless. And I got booted out of school. Yes, it was a school thing. And I was like, hang on, I was doing the heroic thing here. You know, that's like the police getting arrested for arresting. Never again. Never again. David says, Rockmouth, I picture something similar, but with a Lagavulin, I don't know what. It's a whiskey. I don't drink. In fact, whiskey particularly, not a fan. It's a weird drink, is what it is, and I can't be doing with spirits. I don't mind. I quite like the old Alco pops. What are those? What's that? What's the one where it's kind of like, I think it's vodka and lemon. I quite like that one, or I used to when I used to go out. And I quite like a little crème de menthe. Again, I used to. So I'm and in this time of the year, one of those Baileys, the Irish whiskey with coffee and cream. Nice little liqueur. They're pretty good. I mean, back in the day, I'd have a pint and stuff, but that was before the advent of chasers and and shorts and all that stuff that you young fellas are privy to these days. Oh, I still need to jump on it, but it's ironic. It's also on Game Pass. Oh, you're joking. You could have chosen a different one, mate. Oh, never mind. Oh, well, what can you do? Yeah, but this is, at least this one, you own it. So when Game Pass, when it moves on from Game Pass to past Gamesters New, it kind of worked. You own it, so you can carry on playing it, you see? That's how you got to look at it, isn't it? Bruce... 20 centimetres. Wow. Flip. 20 centimetres tomorrow, 20 centimetres Saturday. Crikey. Wow. Well, unless if it settles, but why wouldn't it? Yeah, climate change. That's absolutely right, Bjorn. Absolutely right, my friend. I think we've gone beyond anybody disputing that there is massive change to the climate. There's the odd outlier that refuses to accept it, but I think we're all pretty much there. The problem now is, have we got what it takes to do what is needed to avert an impending disaster? And I suspect not, quite frankly. Not given all the upset over the price of fuel and everything. In fact, the world had a lovely time off during lockdown. You ever see those videos in places like India where it didn't take very long, just a week or two, and the smog lifted, and they could see like the Himalayas in the distance, and there were guys in their 20s that had never seen it from their houses. And excuse me, we did really well yesterday, didn't we? And, there were migratory animals able to make their way across roads and cities that have been built in their way for their thousands and thousands and thousands of years of migration. And then we all went back to normal, didn't we? We all got back in our cars and our planes and our trains and scooters and everything else, and just went straight back to normal. So, yeah, we've only got ourselves to blame, guys. We can only blame ourselves when all's said and done. There was no global warming when beer was £1 a pint in my day. Absolutely, Curly. Back in the day, when you'd go down Brighton and as you'd walk along the mile, the promenade or whatever they called it, in the windows of the bed and breakfast it would say, no Irish, no blacks. Oh, those were the days. Jesus. Strange times indeed. And N7 Spectres is lurking while working. There you go. That's a t-shirt if ever I heard one. Got to get that merch in on that one, my friend. I'm lurking while working. Or twerking. You can lurk and twerk if you want to. Hello, Crow. How are you, buddy? Why not both, says Rockmouth. The glass of whiskey, the pipe, and the slippers, and the cocker spaniel, and the fireplace. Yeah, I'd love that. I'd love all that. Well, I'd love it except for the pipe and the whiskey. Those two, I could pretend. They would have to be virtual. Faux whiskey and faux pipe. Adam's in already. Well done, my friend. I started the draw, guys, about 5 minutes before we went live. So you better get your skates on. There's only 3 in there as we speak. ! Win. So get in there. Excuse me. So Clive chose his game yesterday, which was cool. And the other fella that won declined. So I actually passed it on to a deserving member who I feel sorry. He's got some stuff going on. So I gave him the game. And excuse me. Barclay, thank you so much, brother. That's amazing of you. €10. Wow. Thank you so much, my friend. That is... Here he is, look at that. Barclay Gaming just dropped €10 as a super chat, and Rock's doing it this. He's loving it. He's giving it all of that. Good man, Rock. Excellent stuff. Thank you so much, dude. And for testing my event alert thing, because I just never get it to work. Good evening. How are you, Adam? How are you, my friend? Rock show, are you awkward? Well, no, I'm not that awkward. I'm not gangly or anything, you know. I'm not like a pipe cleaner. But if we do anything physical in the family, you know, I avoid things like water parks, and to be honest with you, because too many experiences of coming down the slides in water parks and getting an unwanted enema. Nobody wants that, my friend. The awkwardness of having to get out of the water and walk out of the water with a rather unsightly trickle running behind you. Not a nice thing. So I stay clear of water parks. Or if I do go, I only do the lazy river, and then I find myself a nice shady spot. Hire one of the old deck chair things, lay myself out, listen to a podcast, maybe, enjoy some rays, maybe read a book. That's me. While the girls are off doing the whole thing and up and down and swirling around and riding on rubber dinghies and all that malarkey. That's not me, mate. I don't be doing all that stuff. Adam's only here for a few minutes because I'm going with my co-workers for lunch. A bit of Christmas lunch. Kind of a group holiday lunch thing. Oh, that's lovely. I was going to take my guys out, but they've actually all separated and gone off into different parts of the world. One of my fellas, as we speak, he's on his way to New York, where he's from, to see family and stay there for the holidays. He's a native New Yorker. MJ Parks has entered the draw. My friend, have you checked your DMs on Twitter recently? Because you actually won yesterday. And I'm just waiting on you to let me know what game you would like. So if you go and check out your Twitter, my friend, you've already got it. It's originally from Brooklyn. Yeah, why are you at it? Hooch. So Hooch is that really strong homebrew stuff, isn't it? I don't know. I'm more of a... Oh, you're thinking of the name of the vodka with lemon thing. Yeah, what's it called? Is it like WKD or something like that? Like Wicked? Is it something like that? I think. Chariot Man, how are you, my friend? How are you, buddy? I hope you're keeping well. And I hope it's not too cold. Everybody seems to have a really cold spell at the moment, Chariot. They're all getting really low temperatures. He's definitely a distinguished enough gentleman. Yes. I spruce up in a tux, David. I must tux myself up again. Actually, I haven't tried my old tux for a while. Since I've lost a bit of weight, I must try it on. Maybe for our Christmas edition, I might put on the old Dickie bow tie. I wonder why it's called a Dickie bow. I mean, I know it's a bow. and it's a bow tie. But why Dicky? What's Dicky about it? A Richard bow? Or something worse? I don't know. This is one to explore. We need to find out why is it called a Dicky bow? Maybe one for James O'Brien. Bjorn, I find the best way to spot a Londoner at a bar is look for the crappy, sweet Swedish cider. Oh, do Londoners like cider? I know they like a pale ale. Down my parts, we love a cider. So you're saying that's not the thing to do? That only people from London would be drinking your sweet Swedish cider? To be fair, if they're from London, I doubt they're even going to be able to order a sweet Swedish cider. I think that's a bit of too much of a tongue twister, if I'm honest. Hello from the land of Twitch, says Joe. Hello to you, my friend. And look, if I come down far enough, I actually have you here. So it's working. I've got it working. There's no picture of you in Twitch. That's weird, isn't it? I guess it's just the way it works in Twitch. Copperbergs. Is that... Oh, that's the name of the... Yeah, my girls love that stuff, mate. The different flavoured ciders. They love all that. In fact, they make an absolute thing of making sure that it's on in the bar, the places where we go. They love it. All the various fruity flavours. I can't see. I'm in the US. But it was over 10 years ago, we had a winter storm and kept our hard ciders out on the back stoop. Yeah, that's the thing to do. Get your drinks out there. Get them out, and you go out early in the morning and you find a row of drunken raccoon and elk. Danny! Yeah, not that elk. True. Helix, speaking of drinks, a pint of Cavonia would be great for your throat right now. Cavonia. What's that? Is that what they changed the name of Corona to? Do you remember when lockdown came about and we had the coronavirus and you used to be able to buy beer called Corona? And I'm fairly certain they changed the name for obvious reasons. Like many years ago, when I were a lad, you could buy they were like sweets, the confectionery, if you wanted to lose weight. They were like little sort of munchy cubes, and they were called aids. And because they aid you in your slip. And then, of course, the dreaded disease came out. So, you didn't want to walk into the chemist and ask for a box of aids. It was not a good thing to do. Get them in, guys! Exclamation mark win. Let me go and have a little looky-poos and see how many we've got stacked up here right now. We have 12. We've got 12, and we've got 70 members already in and on the wheel, waiting. 70 members. Ooh, that's amazing. So we're going to have 83. There we go. We just got an extra one. Rockmouth's just come in and joined the queue. That's good stuff. Well done. We've got 13 minutes left, guys, to get into today's draw. So make sure you do that, and we'll get somebody kitted out with an amazing PC game. David says, winner, winner, chicken dinner. Don't you think? Look at his avatar. Doesn't it look like somebody approaching Homer Simpson? And like there's two little blue eyes where Homer's eyes would go from the tiles. There's a certain condition that, I can't think what it's called. There is a psychological thing where your brain automatically looks to make things out of shapes, particularly humans. Obviously, if you were an ancient primeval hunter and you were wandering through the forest and it's all green, apparently, everyone except for Inuits, what we used to wrongly call Eskimos, the colour that we see the most shades of is green, because, as we were working our way through the ancient primeval forests, it would all have been shades of green, you see. So that was the colour. So to differentiate depth and perspective and everything, that's the colour that we see most of, shades of green. So you imagine if there's somebody an enemy, or maybe even a saber-toothed cat, although I think they'd long gone by the time. I don't know, humans were around. Well, the form of humans were around with saber cats. Neanderthals were definitely around. But you've got the eyes looking out there, right? So your brain instantly is trying to make sense of any shapes that don't look like a natural form, you see? So that's why when we look at things like David's avatar, we see Homer Simpsons, because our primeval cousins, they would have seen Homers and Barts everywhere. David says, secret winning code. Oh, yes. Okay, I admit, says Curly, not everything was better when I was a lad. How old are you, Curly, out of interest? Do you mind saying? Were you born in the 60s, the 70s, the 80s, or the 90s? That's all I need to know, I suppose. Greetings to you, my friend. Thank you so much as well. I'm catching up to where you very kindly dropped that €10. That's incredible. Thank you so much. Good lurk and good lurk and mate, if I do it for you and it's your thing, I'm happy. It's all good with me, honestly. When you get to my age, just to know that you're found attractive by anybody, including next door's old boxer dog, it's an absolute win. Oh, bite, says Bjorn. Don't bite, mate. Don't bite. There we were with Barclays €10. Amazing. Thank you so much. Phipps has entered the draw. We're getting close to the news, guys. Joe's in the draw. Bjorn's got to drop and eat. Got to drop and eat. You go and have something to eat, my friend. Hope you're feeling better today. By the way, stop press. Both myself and Bjorn can't make Rokk players today. I've kind of got a Carol thing, and Bjorn's just still getting over this horrible virus thing he's had. So guess what? What a treat. Holtz is going to do Rokk players himself. It's going to be a solo Holtz show. Now that has got to be worth turning up for. Not just because it's Holtz and he's incredibly funny, but the first time the fella has ever done his own stream. He's going to be cool. So he's all set up, ready to go. He'll be on in 5, 6, about 2.5 hours. So make sure you pop in and give him some love, because he's going to be feeling so nervous, bless him. And I don't know whether he's going to line up guests. He's been working on some unique ideas for content for a while now, involving different sound effects and voices and cameras and stuff. Honestly, it's going to be amazing. You've got to turn in to see young Holtz. Got to happen. It's got to be a thing. Got to be a thing. And there was Joe from the land of Twitch. Oh, look, the old avatars popped in now, Joe. That's cool. I wonder why it didn't show earlier. Very weird. Adam is starving. Well, you're off. Did you say you were going on a lunch with your colleagues, or you were about to? There's nothing worse, is there? When you do go on a kind of colleague lunch thing, it's never on the time you eat. I like to eat my lunch dead on midday. If I have it much later, I kind of feel a bit, but when you do go out with colleagues, it tends to be a later grub, doesn't it? Because you've got to go somewhere and order it and all that malarkey. So by the time it comes, you're ravenous. I know, it's true. And there's MJ Parks. Go and check out your Twitter, my friend. You've got a game waiting for you. Even if you don't get one today, you definitely do. Primo, new free game on Epic. Yeah, I was going to cover that off actually in the news. We may or may not get there. Feel free to whack it into the old chat though. If I don't get to it in time, you may already have done that further down. Adam is from, he's a native New Yorker, originally from Brooklyn. That's Beckham's son's name, isn't it? I think it's a bit weird naming your son after where you conceived him, quite honestly. I mean, in my case, I'd have to name, my daughter would be called Dumpster. No, I'm joking. It never happened like that, I promise. Back of a tree. Hello, back of a tree. It's your dad here. No, I joke. I jest. But it's still awkward. I wouldn't want to. So why they call you Brooklyn? I can't go through the whole story. You've got to imagine my mum and dad getting it on and everything when I tell you. Everyone's like, no, mate, don't. Just make out it's your favourite place to holiday or something. Don't be doing with the whole Brooklyn thing. Brooklyn, New York. I'm in New Jersey now, which is the state next door. Because this is the thing. I still love it to this day. Still one of my top 5 shows of all time. And it's total crash TV, but I loved it. And that was OCC, the American Chopper Boys. I just loved it. There was some times in my life when I was not in a great place, and I would be waking up at all sorts of the time of night. I'd come down and put the boys on, and it would just take me away from all that stuff, and I love them for it. Obviously, an incredibly dysfunctional family, and I would have thought the old man's got to be getting close to the end now, but I loved all that. And of course, they were in Orange County, and that's the thing, isn't it? You know, it's when people think of New York, if you don't live in the States, let me put it in a different way. If you live in Europe, or for example, you just think of New York as being the city, and of course it's not. It's this huge state. And I have not visited it, and I am going to 100%. I definitely want to do the East Coast. I've done Florida, which is kind of technically East Coast, but you know what I mean, northeast. There we go. Hey Dre, very warm, 21 degrees Celsius. Wow, that's amazing. That is an average summer day for me down here, my friend. Take care, Adam. Have a lovely, lovely lunch with your colleagues, my friend. And hopefully much merriment and ale will pass your lips. David, what's dicky about bow ties, the man in it? Oh, dicky and the man in it. Is it? Is that what it means? Is that what a dicky is? Is that like an old slang for... It's got to be slang, hasn't it? Like Cockney rhyming slang. We all love a bit of that, don't we? A lot of it is obvious. Apples and pears is stairs. But your actual old school Cockneys, what used to speak it, they had really complex rhymes. It wasn't the easy stuff we know, and it was criminal fraternities could keep their sort of conversations out of the prying ears of those that weren't in the know back in the day. But I'm imagining dicky, tricky. Could it be a tricky bow? I don't know. I have no idea. I'm sorry, that was a bad one. There's Homer again. There he is. I can't see. I've been doing a craft beer advent calendar. But drink them on the weekends. Oh, so you line up the whole 5 days worth. In fact, it'll be, it depends, 6 days, I guess, by the time you get to the weekend. And then you rock out with your 6 craft beers, lining up the next ones. My wife did buy my daughters, she buys them special advent calendars, like makeup, or I think my eldest may have got, not my Elvis, by the way. I don't lay bare any ownership of, paternal ownership of said Mr. Presley. But my eldest, I think she had one with teas in. So, chai tea and mint tea and green tea and all that kind of stuff. And my youngest, who takes more after me, I think she had one with a whole bunch of coffees. So I'm a coffee boy. I've got my coffee in here, you see. Although I do like an Earl Grey. I had an Earl Grey the other night, and reminded me, the gaming cyborg is in the house. How are you, Ray? Great to see you, my friend. It just reminded me, I need to get over and see how long we've got left on the draw. Let me see, guys. We've got 2.5 minutes left. 2 minutes, 44 seconds. We have 16 people in the contest. And since Ray entered, Tracy's jumped in there. Bjorn, OG, Phipps, Naki New, Dre, David, Wilson, Michael, Phipps, Rockmuth, Rouster, It's Just Joe, Just Being Bruce and Primo, not to mention the ones before. Awesome stuff. Don't forget, if you go over to Twitch, you can also enter to double your chances or triple, if you remember. Now, where did we get to here? Hello, chat, and hello, Rokk. How are you, Tracy? Lovely to see you, my friend. Thank you for popping in as always. Did my Twitch entry function, says Bruce. Well, Bruce, look, there you are on the chat, and I can absolutely see you in the, yep, there's Primo just ahead of you. So you're definitely in there, and I'm fairly certain. Well, definitely see you once anyway. Definitely see you once. And as we approach the end of the chat and get ourselves over to the news, because we've got a few little bits of news today. David liked Homer Simpson. I think it's there, mate. Once you've seen it, you cannot unsee it. It's Homer Simpson, and he's got some guy coming towards him, casting a shadow. Moonlight on the bay. How are you? It's young Tracy over at Twitch World. A couple of decades after the 60s, but still old enough to be a grumpy old man. Well, I was born at the thick end of the 60s, and so I always like to say, in a kind of funny old chronological way, Curly, I was a baby in the 60s, a small boy in the 70s, actually a boy in the 70s, a teenager in the 80s, and then a man in the 90s, and then an old fart in the 2000s. I love my chronology. I've been through some amazing times. I really have. And I can remember, and this is the thing, it all kind of changed in the 80s because I think that was when marketing became a science and they really, really learned how to turn on the psychological tricks to get you all to want and buy things that you can't afford. Before the 80s, that didn't exist. If you wanted a bike, you had to save up for it or work for it. If you wanted a car, you had to work for it. You didn't go out and get loans because you just didn't do that. But from the 80s onwards, it became credit city. The financiers convinced us all that we needed things that we didn't need to impress people down the road that we didn't know and didn't care. Except for me, because I'm remembering those times, you see. So I personally, I prefer to make the money to buy the things that I want. And that's just how it is. And it's why, for example, I have a separate bank account for all of this stuff so that I know when the money comes in, it's purely off the content creation, and then I can use it to buy things for content creation and buy you games and stuff like that, rather than just pillage my family account, you see. But yeah, it all changed in the 80s from that moment onwards. And so if you were born in the 90s, you know no different. You just, it's you've unfortunately thick end of that environment where if you wanted something, you borrow, you get cards for it, you increase your mortgage, and you suffer the consequences. Never was the case when I was growing up. You worked for it. And you felt really good. And because you'd worked for that car, that bike, those clothes, those shoes, if they went wrong, you'd get them fixed, or you'd learn how to fix them yourself. Whereas in the consumer world that we now live in, we're trained to throw it away when it stops working and get another one. And of course, so much stuff is made cheaply in the third world for people and kids that are paid $1 a day so that we can buy stuff for, next to nothing. We think nothing of replacing it. And it's this kind of consumerist world that we live in. And it's, I know it's an old man going on and blah, 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 blah. I get all that. But it is what it is, guys. It's exactly what it is. Yeah, it's the same. It's the same in the West over, Tracy. I mean, it would arguably have started in America, to be honest with you. The science of consumerism and marketing, and how to convince people to buy things they don't really need. And let's be honest, it's what happens all day long, isn't it? David's a bit of a coffeeholic himself, but also a bit of a coffee snob. So you would hate this, mate. I'm going to tell you my magical brew. Which is getting a bit cold. 2 heaped teaspoons of Nescafe Gold. 2 heaped gold. 2 heaped teaspoons of Coffee Mate. And a sweetener. A stevia is preferable. It's from the natural stevia plant. That, my friend, is a complete and utter toxic coffee brew that I particularly love. And I know most people that really know coffee think I'm an absolute pleb. And I know I am. Can't help it. So the draw is over, guys. We had, let me see how many folks we had join in on the draw today. To add to the 70 members, we have 16 of you. That's awesome. I'm going to copy you all out right now and get the wheel ready, which is ready over here for you. Let me paste you all in. Awesome stuff. It's more like it's 16. That's a good number. I think we were struggling because we couldn't get Twitch to work, could we? Yesterday or day before, I forget when it was now. But looks like that's all fixed. That's good news. Good. Right, let me shuffle. We've got 85 people in the draw. I'm not going to do it just yet, guys. We've got a quarter of an hour. Yeah, it really does. Oh, Christmas is all about. Christmas is the apex event for consumerism these days. That's all it is. That's all it is. There are people, without a shadow of a doubt, that absolutely see it in a different way, and they will celebrate it in a different way. But let's be frank, most of us, it's all about the buy-in and the spending. The buy-in and the giving. I try to use my thing, says I Can't See, and stretch things out instead of upgrading right away. It's the right way to be, my friend. It absolutely is. And I'm the same. I mean, you see me every day in different clothes. I rarely wear the same things. But the clothes you see me in are years old. And it's obvious. Look at this old thing here. This is probably 20 years old if I'm a day. But I don't care. Christmas is when people give me refreshes to my wardrobe. And I rarely buy any clothes in there. I don't buy any clothes through the year. I genuinely don't. Maybe the only exception is if we were to go away in the summer. And, you might see a nice T-shirt with Marbella on it or something. And you might just invest to prove you were there. And even my own hair, which is actually desperately in need of a trim. I don't pay for my haircuts, and I only get them once a month. Why is that, Rokk? Well, because my mum trims it. I have to, full disclosure, bless her, although she's now very retired, she is a fully trained hairstylist. So, she does a good job, bless her. And we kind of quid pro quo. So I go around and fix her PCs and set her TV up and things. And she gives me a little hair trim. Although last Friday was nice because I went round there to sort their TV and stuff. And she made me a lovely plate of beans on toast. Woohoo! Good old English beans on toast with cheese. Buttery toast. The whole 9 yards, and it was freaking lovely. Last one. David says, double freeze-dried coffee, mate, and sweetener. Almost exactly like my dad. Yeah, you see. Your dad is clearly a connoisseur. I think your dad is no longer with us, my friend, is he? But he was clearly a connoisseur. He knew exactly how to make a good mug. I only used to have 2 cups a day. So the 2 teaspoons of coffee was fine because it was like the equivalent of having, 4 cups a day. But since I started my diet back in the summer, I discovered if you're hungry and you drink a cup of coffee, it kind of takes the hunger away. And now I drink way too much of the stuff. All right, let's get on with the news. Thought I'd take the opportunity to have a little cough, but you caught me. Right, quick one. We're going to probably just do one today, which is our NVIDIA GeForce Now, because of course it's the GeForce Now blog day today. Now, they don't actually mention it in the blog, but I'm going to mention it now. If you have the PC version of the GeForce Now app, and it may be the same elsewhere, I can only talk of the app for PC. They've got an amazing new option now. When you install it, it'll tell you that they've got this new integration with Ubisoft, and you've got to kind of click a button and go and reconnect your Ubisoft account. But here's the thing. It immediately puts all of your Ubisoft games into your GeForce Now library. So in the old days, you had to go across to Ubisoft, find the game you want to play, pretend to download it, go back over, log in. It was painful. Now, it automatically pulls all of your games in that you either own Or if you're on a Ubisoft Plus account like moi, it will automatically put those into your library. How freaking cool is that? So, for example, I had, I think, something like 147 games in my GeForce Now library, which is obviously an accumulation of Ubisoft games and Steam games and Epic games and GOG games. After I did the whole reconnection thing, it went up to 177, because there's a ton of games that I've never bothered to integrate into my GeForce Now. It did it for me. I didn't have to do it. Woohoo! That's awesome. So there you go. Brilliant. So if you've got the app, or if you play GeForce Now on the app, highly recommend doing that. Make sure you get all of your Ubisoft games. I don't know if you then go to the browser or to the Android apps on Shield TV, etc. I'm not sure if it carries over. I'll check that after the show. But hopefully it does. So there you go, 1,400 titles. There's a big old kind of just a happy Christmas, and this is what GeForce is all about at the top end of the blog. And then we get to the meat and potatoes, which is all the games that are coming out this week. So let's have a quick look at these. We go to Steam. Hopefully this will pop up on screen, which it does. Good. Master of Magic. What have we got here? Turn-based combat and strategy. These are becoming really, really popular, aren't they? Is it Songs of Conquest? I know Bjorn's massively into these kinds of games, and I think they're really becoming quite popular. I don't know if it's because there's a kind of, at the end of the day, I guess a genre is driven by how popular it is. So remember that not so long ago when every man and his development dog were banging out a battle royale. Oh my God, they were everywhere, weren't they? And that's kind of waved away a bit now. I think Ubisoft whacked one out and it didn't do anything at all, did it? And it was almost, that was it then. I think, as they used to say, they jumped the shark. That's a great phrase. Comes from a show in the 70s called Happy Days, which was massively popular. It ran for years and years and years. And then in the very last season, there was a part where the Fonz literally jumps over a kind of a water pool full of sharks. And everybody said, that's it. The story got so stupid. It's definitely time to end the series. And so from then on, they called it Jumping the Shark. When it gets so stupid that you've really got to kind of call it a day. That's where it comes from. And Demi Goddess. Agree, David. I grind my beans. Excuse me. You grind your beans? You grind your beans, sir. Have a Shemi pour-over method. So fresh and... yeah, but you see, Americans, all of you guys do the proper beans thing, don't you? You don't have kettles in the States, as most countries don't. It's a kind of British thing. It's an old working-class British thing. Excuse me, guys. David, I cut my hair once a year. Bald in the summer, a mane in the winter. I like it, my friend. Wow, that's a lot. What, the games? Yeah, the increase. Absolutely. Wow, thanks, Rokk Show. Return to Castle Wolfenstein, and that's Ace. It's Ace Frehley of Kiss. Yeah, that's brilliant. So you'd like Castle Wolfenstein out of the list of games? It's yours, my friend, and after the show, I shall get the code for you. Good choice. Clive chose a really good one as well. I forget what it was now. I said to him I was amazed it was still in the list because I thought it was one of the best ones in there. Right, so that was the old Master of Magic. We've got Roller Champions, which has been out for a bit, hasn't it, this one? Ubisoft. I'm not sure if this one's an automatic Ubisoft Plus game, actually. I think it is. But either way, you can play it now on GeForce Now if you weren't able to before. Wavetail. That's a lovely little game, isn't it, Wavetail? God, blimey, it's back with a vengeance. I should have brought me sweets in. Thunderful. I have a feeling this was given away somewhere. Was it an Epic game or something? I forget now. Either way, It's the demo. You can download a demo. But you can play it on GFN. It's a lovely game. Of course, we had it over at Stadiaville. So that's a good one. Cosmotier, Starship Architect and Commander. So this, another one of those kind of strategy games. Early access. It's great seeing the early access stuff on GeForce Now, actually. Yeah, it's really cool. I don't know if Baldur's Gate's on there, though, is it? I think it's only on Stadia. Floodland. Oh, that's a bit close to the old bone, isn't it? So what's this? Another strategy game, interestingly enough. Survival, post-apocalyptic. Loving the post-apocalyptic. But yeah, it's another one of those kind of strategy things that are very popular, like Humankind and all that kind of a stuff. And that one is 20% off at Steam right now, so that's $19.99. Looks pretty good. What else we got? Oh, Marvel's Midnight Suns. Do you know what? I genuinely did not expect to like this game. This is epic by the looks. I genuinely did not think this would be a game for me. I love it. It's a card game. I've never liked these card games. But I think what I really love about it is there's enough of the other kind of non-genre stuff, so it's got story, you can explore, there's kind of character progression, it's got all that kind of stuff in there. The only thing they've done is they've taken out the combat, the kind of first person, third person shooting, all that stuff, and they've replaced it with card game. Which I actually really enjoy. And it took me a while, as all of these do, to kind of, get a feel for what cards do what, which are the characters you want to take into combat and so on. But I am loving it. I'm really, really enjoying it. So that's on GeForce Now, and that's exactly where I've been playing it as well. I did a 2.5-hour stream last weekend. If you are interested to have a look at that, it's on my channel. It's me not talking for obvious reasons, but we get 2.5 hours in, so by all means go and have a look at that if you want to. What else we got here? Members can also now experience next gen update for The Witcher, so that's Witcher 3 Wild Hunt Complete Edition. Now as of the last time I checked, which was about 2 hours ago, the GOG version hadn't been updated, ironically. We were still on version 1.3.2, I think. But if you've bought it on Steam and I think Epic, then you should be good to go. That should be the latest version with the whole RTX experience. And I'm hoping the GOG one has been fixed. It's to do with the interface with the GOG website. It has nothing to do with the game itself. So I know the guys have been working on that behind the scenes, so hopefully that's now working. Keep an eye out as Origin versions of Electronic Arts games transition to the new EA app. Starting with Battlefield 2042 this week, along with ownership of these games, members' content, cloud saves and friend lists will transfer to the EA app, and it's all fine, it all works perfectly with GeForce. So there you go, that was the GeForce Now. I did have, very, very quickly, excuse me, I've set up a new bookmarks folder in Twitter, guys, just for Rokk Around the Clock, which is really cool. So the first one we have here was our good friend Vet mentioned to me. They've got some new games over at Boosteroid. There was some bit of a hoo-ha over the last couple of days with a couple of games that stopped working. Apparently it was to do, again, similarly to the GOG Witcher, to do with interfacing with the APIs, I guess, rather than it being an issue with Boosteroid and the devs. As far as I'm aware, I've been told by several sources that there was no issue other than technical, and it's now been fixed. But 8 new games, High on Life. Oh, I love that game. That's have you guys played that yet? It is amazing. It's got the guy from Rick and Morty playing the gun, for God's sake. It's so funny. Callisto Protocol, Darkside, Dwarf Fortress, Saints Row 4 and Ixion. So I've played 3 or 4 of those actually. All great games. Great games. So that was that one. Vet also popped this up. These are the new games due out the 20th, I believe. So you know how it works with PlayStation. They give you a bunch of games at the beginning of the month, around the 7th, which are for the lowest tier of the PlayStation Plus account. And then about the 20th, they bung a ton more for those of you that have the next levels up, the premium and the extra. And that's where they tend to include retro games, new trials, and the cloud games as well. So coming up, I think on the 20th, we got Mortal Shell, Shadow of War, which of course William's been streaming on his channel. Yakuza Like a Dragon, W2K22, Far Cry 5, Evil Genius 2, World Domination, plus a ton of other bits and pieces as well. So that's good. Black Nut had a little tweet to say, excuse me, hey Lo-Fi, how are you, buddy? Black Nut had a little tweet to say they've partnered with Vectra, which apparently is the largest cable TV operator in Poland. Starting from today, the Vectra customers can access the Black Nut cloud gaming platform directly on their TV, mobile and PC. So that's cool. I'm loving the way that all of these services are forming these alliances and these partnerships around the world. Just brilliant, because what it ultimately means is we will all get to a point within a couple of years where, and I said this the other day on a show, we don't talk about cloud as some exotic option. It's just, how do you play? Oh, I play on my TV. Oh yeah, that's good, that, isn't it? It works really well. Yeah, that's how it's going to be. Mostly, I think this is two more. Mostly Martinez. Shout out to all the mods who show their support by keeping the community safe and welcoming. Excuse me. I don't have any mods. Nobody mods for me. I go into John's channel. He's got mods. He's got minions all over the place running his giveaways and his chat and stuff. I don't have anybody. I just have to do all this myself. And finally, the God of War TV series has got the go-ahead for Amazon Prime. Oh, you are not kidding me. How amazing is that going to be? So, of course, these guys invested heavily this year in the old Lord of the Rings, which I thought was amazing. So if they put half the attention into a God of War TV series with as they did with the Lord of the Rings thing, it's going to be stunning. So what does it say? Let's have a quick look at what the old Hollywood Reporter says here. Yeah, I'll accept your cookies. Amazon's Prime Video is getting the video game adaptation. The stream has greenlit a series based on the award-winning PlayStation game God of War. The Wheel of Time's Rafe Judkins, couldn't get into that, did try, will serve as showrunner on the adaptation, and Oscar nominees Mark Fergus and Hawk Ostby, Children of Men, great film, Iron Man, depends which one, and The Expanse, must have seen it, are writing and executive producing with Judkins. Sony Pictures and Amazon Studios, so it's a co-production. We know that Sony have been looking at doing these IP deals. That's why they bought Bungie. Look out, there will be a Destiny series as well at some point using those characters. That was the main reason they bought it, apparently. God of War is a compelling character-driven franchise, yeah. The series in development since March, so there you go. It's not a whim. They've been working on this now for the thick end of, 10 months? We'll follow Kratos, the god of war, 8 months, who exiles himself from his blood-soaked past in ancient Greece. Oh, this is going to be so good. So good. Do they say when? When are we going to get to see this? I'll be amazed if it's before 24. God of War joins a growing list of high-profile series based on video games. Yeah, we've got The Last of Us coming up in January, of course. No, they don't say. I mean, it's got to be, isn't it? There's no way it's going to be any sooner than 2024. So there we go. That's them. And let's get ourselves over. Let's get down to the business, shall we? Let me see, just missed quickly anything I've missed here. Demi-goddess, oh yeah, that's the way to do it. AeroPress. But you guys, you know your coffee, you young'uns are all the same. I likes me toxic brew. My brother-in-law's like it. My daughter's like it. She won't be doing with all my Nescafe stuff. Roderick. The Simpsons. It's great, isn't it? Homer's all over the show today. Love your stories. Thanks, Chariot. I know, I got a ton of them. Your voice is very soothing to listen to. Oh, well, thank you. And I appreciate your detailed review. Just starting getting into NVIDIA news. Oh, well, that's very sweet of you. Thank you. And thank you for watching as well. Lovely to have you join us on the show. Absolutely fantastic. Hi, Liam. How are you, buddy? Thanks for popping in, my friend. Ixion looks amazing. Yes, it does, Tracy. I did have a look at it a while back when it was announced that it was coming to GeForce Now. It does look very good. Embarrassingly, says David, I'm a little addicted to High on Life. Oh, mate, is it not just one of the best games ever? It is so good. It is so fun. It is really funny. The characters are amazing. It kind of really feels to me like the guy from Rick and Morty was almost given free rein to ad lib. It just comes across so well. Love it. Love it, love it, love it. Lo-Fi, great to see you, my friend. Hey, Rudings, how are you, bud? Good to see you. And they're all piling in here. What's the next game you're planning on trying? Well, when I get, let me see. Later, I've got a few juggling at the moment. So I have got my High on Life. I've got Callisto Protocol. I kicked off the new Dawning season on Destiny, so I ought to go in and find a few more strips of candy in there. What else have I got? I've got a new rental game coming at either going to be God of War Ragnarok, COD MW2, or it's going to be East of whatever it's called. No, yes, no, I forget. Anyway, it's that one. It's the death one. East Death or Life on the Ocean Waves or whatever. William, thank you for the shout out, Rokk. If you haven't played it, check it out. Yeah, man, go and check all of William's stuff. He's a most amazing streamer. I've got to get on with it. Guys, because Paul William, let me see, what does he do? Does Mondays, Wednesdays and Fridays. So actually, yes, today we're good. We've got a little bit more extra time. I'm a mod. You are, mate. I've got mods, but nobody that mods. Does that make sense? I mean, there's a ton of people with the little spanner, but nobody does a little bit of modding. I don't need it, it's okay. I'm not begging for it. I'm honest. We're getting another season of Carnival Row. Now, that's a show that I really, really wanted to watch, and I've not got around to it, Tracy. What am I watching at the moment? I'm trying to sweep up some... I tell you what I am watching right now. Oh, crikey, what's it called? Let me have a little look. Netflix. It's called... I think it's called The Lost Apocalypse. I'm not even signed in. Don't worry. I think it's called The Lost Apocalypse on Netflix. Apocalypse. Let me see. Yes. Is that it? No, it's not that one. On Lost Apocalypse. No, it's not called that. Netflix and Graham Hancock. I shall tell you the story. Ancient Apocalypse. There we go. Ancient Apocalypse on YouTube. This show is amazing. I've actually met Graham Hancock. He wrote an amazing book in 1995 called Fingerprints of the Gods, which I read about 96, 97. It will just blow you away. He's all about ancient, prehistoric history. How can it be prehistoric history, Rokk? Okay, prehistory. And he shows how almost certainly, in fact, I'm just, it's a given as far as I'm concerned, on Netflix. He basically shows that there must have been an advanced civilization about 12,000 years ago. And exactly 12,000 years ago, there was a huge meltdown from the Ice Age, which raised up the levels across the world and created the flood myth, that we know as the Noah Ark story. In every single culture around the world, there's a flood myth story that basically states that about 12,000 years ago there was a huge flood, that most civilization was wiped out, but one race of truly advanced people went around the world and civilized those that were left. And he proves this thing. It's been discounted by archaeologists across the globe because they like conformity, archaeologists. You know, once they think they've got the whole out of Africa thing down, they don't want to look at alternatives. So watch this. It's about 8 episodes long on Netflix. I'm fairly certain it's across the world, wherever Netflix exists. Graham Hancock. So yeah, I went to see him in Sheffield do a talk years and years ago. Fascinating guy. He's also pops up on Joe Rogan all the time. He's Joe Rogan's got a huge soft spot for him. But he's written some amazing books, alternative history books on things like the pyramids, for example, which I've always said, irrespective of what these guys said, the Sphinx, which is the body of a lion and the head of, I forget which one it was now, was it Tut? One of the pharaohs, quite obviously was never built with that head, because it's a tiny pharaoh's head on a huge lion's body. When that thing was built, it clearly had a giant lion's head. And of course it was carved down into one of those pharaohs over the centuries, but people don't talk about that stuff. But it's there. It's a great, great, great show. Anne says, I played High on Life yesterday and it's really funny. It's amazing, isn't it? I like how when you walk up to any character, the gun just starts talking. I know. It's just brilliant. It's genius. It's one of my favourite games of the year. It really is. Absolutely hilarious. My game of the year 2021, says Rudings, Grime. Just got free DLC today. Going to get stuck into that. Oh, I love it. That's really cool. And I've seen, is it on Game Pass? Rudigs. I've seen it recently, whether it was Game Pass or whether it popped up on PlayStation Plus, I forget. But it was a great game. People are all over the game rentals. Well, I've been renting games, I don't know, 10 years or more, to be honest. And I only stopped when Stadia came out because they were getting games every month. Didn't seem to be a great deal of point. But I've kicked it back in because, quite frankly, I'd rather pay £10, $12 a month for an $80 game, which is what I do. So, yeah, I'll get a game and I'll give it a go. And if I like it, I'll stick it. I'll play it for a bit. They are called Boomerang Rentals, my guys. Here they are. Let me just log in. Let's see, we'll go in there. And we'll have a look and see what's coming in my list, because I sent a game back about 2 weeks ago and they never got it. And I got in touch with them and they said, oh, don't worry, we'll just mark it as having been received. Here we go. So this is my top 3 in my list. Now, I can tell you straight away that none of these have become available. So if I go to currently renting, there's nothing in there because they're waiting for these to come back in. So I've got to wait 6 days for God of War, 4 days for Call of Duty, and that was it, Elden Ring, not Evil West, that's next down, or Elden Ring. So I'm thinking I'm probably going to be getting Elden Ring next. But, I've saved myself a freaking fortune, and does exactly the same thing. He knows. No stream today, thank you, my friend. I'd kind of just worked it out in time. Otherwise, I would have got us over there for you. Graham Hancock, very interesting man. Love all of his stuff. Didn't realise his new one was, yeah, David. I mean, he's kind of going over old stuff that he's written about, but he's adding a load of new discoveries into it. Hugely, hugely persuasive. Ancient Apocalypse, free on Netflix. I can't recommend it more highly. It's a really well-produced show as well. Yeah, you'll love it. Simpleton! This guy, the villain from the movie Up. Was he? What the guy that's the voice of the, or me? Who are we talking about? Is it me that's the villain from the movie Up? The movie Up. The water sphinx erosion. Yeah, we see they've dated that 10,000 years, haven't they? Most irrefutable points of this ancient civilization topic. Yeah, absolutely. They've dated the water erosion on the Sphinx to that same time period of the Great Flood. It's everywhere. I mean, you can't avoid it. And the fact is that all of these huge, there are buildings, huge temples in Malta, little island between Italy and North Africa. They've got these temples there that date back to a point 11,000 years. And they were saying, no, it can't be. That was, Neanderthals were banging about then. There was nobody that was able to build stuff of that. Well, you're wrong. They did. Afternoon, Caseball. How are you, my friend? How are you, dude? Good to see you. Grime is neither on Game Pass or PS Plus. Oh, rats. It's just released as a new title. I've seen it somewhere, so yeah, that's probably where. For those platforms. Previously it was locked to Steam. Gotcha, my friend. Oh, and excuse me. Excuse me. Ant has got Sonic Frontier today. Oh, have I got Sonic Frontier? Let me see. Let me go to games to rent. Let's go to here. Let's put it in here. Sonic Frontier. Let's see if they've got it. Oh, here it is. Rent it on the PS5. Sonic Frontiers. I'm going to rent it right now. Actually, should I get it on Xbox? Let's pop it on the old PS5. No real reason, quite honestly. But it's added now, you see. So I go to my list. Where's my list? Here it is. Rental list. And it's going to be down there. There we go. It's a 6-day wait for that as well, so no advantage. Got a couple there, and next month, or coming soon, we've got Dead Space, Dead Island, Hogwarts Legacy, Lord of the Rings, you see. And then, if I look at my rental history, just look at this. So this goes back to 2013, so I was pretty accurate when I said 10 years. July next year was when I started renting. There we go. And the first game I rented, look, for the PS3 was Painkiller. What a great game that was. And then it goes on. This is my list all the way through. Here we go. Must have got a PS4 at this point. Look, 2014. Here we go. On we go. All in there. Deus Ex. That was a great game. Rise of the Tomb Raider. Titanfall 2. What a corker that was. On we go. Sniper Elite 4. Wipeout. Injustice. Of course, there's all PS4 titles. And then we get Xbox One, because I bought myself an Xbox One. Ultimately, gave it to my daughter. And then I bought myself the Series X. Now look, here we go. PS5 has now appeared. 2020, November 2020. So there we go. Look at that. All of those games. There we go. Elix 2, look. Lost Return. It's not my fault. I posted it. And more to the point, not only did I post it, I recorded me posting it as a potential rock around the block. I actually have it on film. But I decided not to do that episode because it literally was me walking around the block. I thought, that couldn't be more boring, could it? So I didn't do it in the end. Stick to High on Life. Sonic is going to get boring quickly. Oh, mate, yeah. Hey, Lord Gaiman, man. How are you? Love you. Take care. I'm sick. What, again? You're always ill, brother. The villain from the movie Up was scientist that was disavowed by other scientists. Oh, got you. Right, yes, like Graham Hancock, because he couldn't prove the giant bird existed. You're right there. It's a clever one, my friend. Cerebral. Lord Gamer Man gets FIFA 23 today. He's going to live stream that later. Good man. My doctor tell me I don't have skin cancer. Well, that's good news. That's 100% celebratory good news, my buddy. Best optimized on PS5. Oh, it's the best. Oh, good. Right. Well, I've done that. I've ordered it for PS5, so that's all good. Right, guys and guysesses, shall we spin the wheel? See what games you're going to get. We already know that MJ Parks has chosen, what was it he chose? Was it Wolfenstein? I forget now. I think it was. But you guys are going to choose something else. So here we go. I'm going to pop us over to the Christmas Wheel of Fortune. Oh, look, we're there. We're actually in situ. How lovely is that? And my little wheel's a bit big. So I'm going to hide my little wheel. Don't shrink him down. There we go. And I've got this lovely tinky tinkle music that I love. Just have a listen to this, guys. It's lovely. I love that little bit of tinky tinkle music. Right, guys, good luck. This is for a PC Game Steam code. I originally started with 30. I think we're now down to about 18 or 19. So we got another one tomorrow. And then next week, on the run up to Christmas, I'm going to be going until probably Friday. I may even go till Friday. We'll see. Difficult next week, family down and all that, so I'm not quite sure. But because I will have something like 15 or 16 games, I'll give away 3 or 4 every day. So if you win next week, you're going to win 3 or 4 games. I could just do loads of individual ones. But I thought, no, we'll do bundles, because otherwise I've got to remember to get it all sorted and everything. So it's got to be good, isn't it? Music's got very loud, Rokk. Get down, Tinkly Winkle music. Tinky Winkle, Dipsy. Right, here we go then. I'm spinning the wheel. Good luck, guys. Oh, I'll tell you what, before I spin the wheel, for luck, I'm going to give it a shuffle. There it goes. It's been shuffled. I'll wait till the tree comes around and points north. It's kind of a tradition in the 30 days of Christmas. Hey, Vet, how are you, buddy? Good to see you, my friend. I can't go get out. Well, spinning now. Here it goes. Do 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 do. Look at that. Vet's slowing it down with his thing. It's stopping. It's getting stopping. Gone past Rudigs. We've gone past Joe. We've got Clive, Krampus. They won yesterday. Predator, Granite Rock. Look at this. Now. In fairness, Spectres did win the other day, bless him. And he was quite keen to throw the game back in the pot. So I know he won't mind if we spin it again. That's fair, isn't it? So if he's not happy about that, don't worry, I'll give him a game. But we'll do it again, all right? I'm going to shuffle the cards. You can see them a shuffle in there. There we go. And hide it. Here we go. You ready, guys? Boom. Here we go, another one. Yep, he did. I know, I don't know what it is, Rudigs. They just seem to favour certain people, but I shuffle it and everything. Right, here we go. We're past CGD games, past Rockmouth already exist. Keep going, Michael Richardson, keep going. It's going to be No Time Pete. Yay, there we go. That's a new one. Awesome stuff. Right. No Time Pete. Now, I don't know where I can get hold of No Time Pete. So, if anybody knows No Time Pete, please let him know that he's won a prize. Because I'm fairly certain he's not on my Twitter circuit. But I will double check. Do you know what, guys? I'm feeling generous. We got a bunch of new games. Shall I do another one? Shall I, for you guys? Hey, should we do another one, guys? Yeah, come on. Come on, Rokk, it's Christmas. I got a load of games left. Let's do it, shall we? Yeah, spin the wheel. Who's it going to be? We're going to get 2 winners today. So No Time Pete's won. Let's see where we're going to go. I shuffled it. Here we go, David. We're going round the wheel. Phipps. Clive's gone past Dre. Keep going. Don't stop on ARE. It's going to go to Rockmouth. It's hang on, Rockmouth. Oh, mate, it just... oh, it was so going to go to Rockmouth. It's gone to Bjorn. Oh, bless him. That's going to keep him happy because he's not been feeling very well. Bless his little Swedish socks. There we go, guys. Right, that'll do for today. That'll do, pig. That'll do. Awesome stuff. Awesome. Righty-ho-y. Do you know why? Yeah, that was fun. I love doing it. I do love doing it. And I hope you guys get next week. I don't know. What do you think? Should I do bundles of 3 games every day? Or should we do 3 winners every day? Because it's kind of fun spinning the wheel, isn't it? What do you reckon, guys? David, everybody's watched Babe, mate. It's a global smash hit. They all know what They all know my Babe reference. I'm sure they do. Lord Gaming Man says 3 winners. Ray says 3 winners. Tracy says 3. Of course you do, guys. Everybody wants a chance to win, don't they? I think that's fair. All right, okay. We're going to do that. Next week, we're not going to do bundles. We're going to do 3. I think it's 3. I'll work out how many there are. And we'll do, I think, 3 every day. So there'll be 3 chances to win. You only have to enter once. And we'll spin it 3 times. So that's going to be fun. I'm going to really enjoy doing that as well. We'll even do it on the shows that we don't normally do. So we do it on Rokk Show. And I need to have a chat with Ray, John and William and see, because it's going to be our Christmas special. So firstly, are they available? Can't assume anything. Christmas and all that. And if they are, shall we do something a bit special? And we might have, in January, a new co-host joining us as well. Yeah, I will tell you more after Christmas, but I'm saying nothing for now. Congratulations, says Nakinu. Nakinu did the 10 tours when he was young. That was, if you guys have seen my Hay Tour video, Rock Around the Block, the 10 tours is what it says. And it's young folk, and they have to run from tour to tour. And I'm telling you now, you saw me doing my little gradual walk up the hill. That thing was miles between tours, and they had to run over the moors and stuff. That was a fit thing to be doing. 3 wins is more fun, but more effort. Oh, I don't mind. No, it's all good. Thank you, my friend. That's a very generous thought that you put me there in that one. Thank you. No, it's all good. I know, Vet. It's bizarre. New co-host. Yes. For Rokk Show. You have to watch out for that, won't you? Special times. Nobody's leaving, by the way. This will be a new joiner. And the other band members don't even know themselves yet. I'm telling them later. A little surprise. Right, that's it. Let's get the hell out of here. Let's get the Charlie Dickens out of here. Guys, thank you so much as always for joining me. Apologies, sincere apologies for this cough, this embarrassing hacky cough that I've bothered you with for the last hour and 20 odd minutes. I am, my apologies to you. I'm genuinely sorry. Hopefully by next week it's going to be all good, because I have got something special to stream as well next week. I'm not going to say too much, but if you're a content creator, or if you are a wannabe content creator, then I have got access to an amazing application, which I'm really looking forward to. I don't want to give it, I want to do it justice. So I'm not going to do anything until my cough's gone, which I'm hoping will be gone by Monday. And then I've got this amazing application to show you guys. I am absolutely smitten with it. So I'll be doing that next week. And yes, even possibly running Rokk Show and Rokk Players on the new application as well, because it's good. It's very good, but it needs some tests and stuff, but it's all good. Anyway, thank you so much. Demi, thank you so much for your kind words as well. And you're all fantastic folk. Thank you, Curly. I will see you all tomorrow. Thank you, Tracy. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Tomorrow we'll do another 30 days of Christmas. Plus, if you are a Team Rokk member, we will get it's a special Team Rokk members Friday giveaway. We'll have another bundle to give away. I'm doing bundles, you see, themed bundles. Last time it was Abe's World. The one before that it was Batman Arkham. So tomorrow's another little bundle giveaway, specifically for you amazing Team Rocksters. So we'll catch up tomorrow. We'll have some more fun. Have a fantastic Thursday, whether it's the beginning, the middle or the end. And I will catch you amazing folk tomorrow. Rock out.